free, following the blues. We love you, what more can we say?
It's 7:30, ladies and gentlemen, girls and boys. Welcome to the Tilton Talk Show, sponsored by Boylesports, principal sponsor of the Football Club, and of course our friends at Garrison Coffee Company and M.A.Reilly French polishers, along with Image Cleaning, and anybody and everybody else that has anything to do with us. You are so welcome to be with us tonight, and it's good to be here on a Monday. This is what Mondays are for. Introducing the team tonight, we've got Ollie in Birmingham.
Evening all.
Evening, matey. How you doing?
I'm alright, you?
What you got on your head?
That's his head.
What's
that?
Chairman of the board, Alan Watton.
Evening, everybody.
And Mr. Robe himself, the one and only Mark Andrew Adams.
Evening, everyone. Hope you're okay.
And the good old Craig Courtney.
Evening all.
And of course, it wouldn't be the same show without Mrs. Brown.
Good evening.
A lot to get through tonight, girls and boys, ladies and gents, and we're going to start with the game on Saturday. 2-0 up. No, was we 2-0 up? Yeah, we're 2-0 up.
Yeah,
2-0 up.
Yeah.
2-0 up, and then ended up drawing 2-2, 6 minutes of injury time in the 7th minute, and Millwall scored a penalty.
It was 1-1, wasn't it?
Was it 1-1? I can't remember, mate. I was at work anyway, so I couldn't even watch it. So. And then the stupidity afterwards. Stupidity. Listen to that word, stupidity. Huh? If you're involved, the club and the police will find you and they will ban you. Bear that in mind. Stupid people. Right, who was at the game?
Yeah.
Craig?
Yeah.
I mean, all in all, firstly, 1,000,000 times better than Blackpool. We actually had a team that were driving for not just the fans, but actually for themselves. They were secure. I thought the reintroduction of Friend was a great move. Shoring up the defence.
Masterstroke,
And all in all, you know, just played as we all want, which is if they're not going to go out and win a game, don't roll over and say, "Come and tickle my tummy." You know. Actually had a little bit about them. I think referee.
You froze everything, gone wide open, mate.
Yeah, it wasn't pretty.
It was one of them moments.
I think the referee, first of all, and I know, Chairman, you don't like us talking about the refs, but that guy just wanted the limelight. There was no other way to describe it. Millwall were looking for that penalty. He fell totally for the tricks. I know you should never grab a shirt, but that happens in every game, every box area. Even, you know, it doesn't matter where you are, it happens. But he just wanted that limelight to be centre of attention, and he ruined it.
Thing is, though, Craig, if you grabbed a shirt, that's a foul in the rule book.
I've watched it a dozen times from different angles, and only Blues TV showed all the angles. Everybody else just ignored it. But yes, there was a shirt pull. And yes, there were several shirt pulls by several people, and he had to pick one out. He picked one of ours. Make-up call, if you like. And it's disappointing because the first ad penalty, clear as day. You know, he wrestled him to the floor. That's the problem.
Yeah.
Comment just coming from Richie Rich saying the Kuna was quality, and that was his spot the weekend. He was superb.
Yeah. For all those asking about Paul Lipkis, he's on the mend, and he will be with us before the end of the season, hopefully. But he's a lot better, by the way.
Yeah, and thanks everybody for putting those messages out and asking about Paul. So sorry, Paul, we didn't forget you. We didn't forget you last week, but I didn't remember you. You know what I mean? Get well soon, buddy, and get yourself back here as soon as you can sometime.
Ray Hobro summed it up beautifully here as well. Shirt pulling on Lyle Taylor for all the game. I tell you, how that guy held his temper is, it's a credit to him because
We're on about Ray or Lyle?
Oh, a bit of both. We all upset Ray, don't we, with the stats?
Oh, crikey,
he's going to be knocked down next. But
Craig, that's how it should be, though, isn't it? You know what I mean? Years ago, you got knocked down, you get back up again.
And he did. And I loved, his little showmanship in the corner as we got towards the end of the game. It is just a shame they got that penalty because his little dance in the corner flag, it just made everybody crease when he was playing them up. But no, he got his just deserved as well. You know, he was he needed that goal. He played well enough to get it throughout, and I think I can't fault any of them. Can't fault any of them.
No.
And that's what we want to say every Monday, isn't it?
Yeah. A marked improvement. That's what you want.
What's changed, you think?
Well, I should imagine people are thinking of probably places for next season.
Yeah.
Hang on. We play a full season, not just one game. And they've got to give that commitment to every single game, every game we play.
Totally agree. But unfortunately, that's not the way it goes, is it?
Minimum wage unless you win.
Yeah. No wage.
The other thing is the fact that they didn't just get a tatering from what everybody is hearing. They didn't just get a tatering from the fans and get slated by the fans, but inside the club, they all realised that actually it's the players that are letting people down now. It's not all down to some, and it's fair to say, some mistakes that Lee's made, but people are beginning to realise that, and I hope that continues. Let's back Lee now. Let's see what he can do in the summer. A summer with his players, and I really do see a proper outing of players in the summer. I really do. Is it fair
to say it's still a bit of a 50-50 split with Lee and Craig next season?
Yeah, I think it still is.
Yeah. But again, we say it every week, but can you honestly say you hear at St Andrews chance for Bowyer out? It never happens.
No.
In fact, it's the complete polar opposite.
No, you don't.
All you hear is support for him.
And we could really do with another season out of him, just so that we can say that we haven't got rid of we haven't joined that merry-go-round type of thing,
Lost an earpiece, I won't be a minute. Paul McCarthy said the penalty came 98 minutes. Where did the extra 2 minutes come from? Those 2 minutes would come from the injury. There was an injury.
Where did the 6 come from? That's my question. There were no stoppages in the second half. Where did the 6 minutes come from?
Yeah.
How many substitutes were there?
Yeah. And how did that go on to 9 minutes?
Yeah.
Even with 2 minutes.
Fergie time.
That's absolutely crazy. Yeah.
Look,
Pamela says
we're safe, Chris. I don't think that's the main
definitely. Yeah. Pamela said it's not a 50-50 split. She believes there are far more on his side.
Yeah.
All right, let's take a poll. Let's take a vote. Right, let's take a vote in the studio and then a vote for the people. Right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Chris, Bowyer, yes or no?
Yeah, I think give him another season, I think.
Alan?
Yes.
Ollie?
Yep.
Mark?
Yep.
Craig?
1,000%. Give him another season.
And I'm going yes, so that's 100% of all people in the studio. Right? People out there, just simple yes or no. Yes or no. That's all we need. Yes or no. I don't want a story about it. It's just simple, quick 5-minute poll. Yes or no.
Just put yes or no. Yeah. So far we've got a yes. Need stability. Yes. Changing manager annually has to stop. Completely agree. Yes. So far all yeses. Yes. Yes. There you go. Oh, and a yes. Yes. Yeah. Oh, they're still coming. Yeah. It's pretty unanimous.
The thing that I like about Lee Bowyer is you can look at a game and you think, why did he pick that bloke? Why did he do that? Why was his tactics this? Generally speaking, he does it right. I know we've had a little, well, more than a bit. We've had 3 or 4 games where things have not been good. And I looked at him last Monday after the Blackpool game, and he had another one of those fearful looks on his face where I expected him not be there, to be honest. That he would throw the towel in or whatever. But fair play to the bloke. He stood up, he took the stick, and he came back, and at least we're back to the situation where we're not blaming ourselves. Okay, the referee had a nightmare, whatever. It was a solid performance. Actually, if you look at the record of Millwall at St Andrews in the last 4 or 5 years, that's our best records scored against them in 5 years at home. They come up here and beat us regularly. So I like that. He's rolled his sleeves up and said, "No, nobody's going to get the better of me," and whatever. And that's his best characteristic, I think.
Right, out of all the answers, we've had lots of yeses, 3 no's that I can see, and 2 unsures. So I'm going to go for about a 95% yes. Would everybody in the team agree with me?
He looks like a 90. Yeah, I would. Yeah, looks 97, 98% so far. Yeah, got it.
And Michael Wood says yeah, but no, but yeah. Lol.
Cheers, pal. No.
Graham Hayes, great shape. Lee Bowyer is still learning as a manager. He hasn't been in management for long, and it's fair to say he's had 2 teams that actually, when you compare them, have been so similar. You know, he had that relegation fight with Charlton, and then the following season, he was getting them back into the swing of things. I think actually, didn't he get them promoted?
Yeah,
they won the playoff.
Yeah,
won at Wembley.
And then he's come to Birmingham with an opportunity to really show what he's going to do, and he's been up against it. But for me, he can only pick what's in front of him, can't he? He can't do anything else. He can't go out and get miracle players.
Yeah, that's what I said last week, Craig. He needs this summer, and he's got a lot of work to do. He's got a lot of work to do this summer. Oh, by the way. Yeah. Though Brummy has just made her Tilton Talk appearance. Meow.
There were some significant absences, which I never. I mean, Pedersen wasn't in the squad at all, was he?
No.
What was his excuse? No, injured, just left out.
Left out, I think. Still tiny shoelaces.
Richards was absent, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And without being too cruel to these people, once I saw that, my spirits were lifted.
Totally agree.
These blokes have been very good in the last few weeks. And there are other players that I think of who just haven't got it in the past. And I've never sort of slagged them off because I always in themselves. Somebody's decided that they can play, they've gone in the side and they can't do it. It ain't their fault. But this is a little bit, on the beach for a few weeks now. And I suspect he ain't going to sign for us next year, which I ain't good. I'm just a bit disappointed his position couldn't have been given to the lad Lloyd Mitchell. He's been loaned out. Obviously, they've got to save money, so they loan these people out to make payments to other people. I'd like to see him come back next year and perhaps given the opportunity to now.
Yeah, you're breaking up a bit, Alan.
You're dropping a bit, Alan. All right, Calvin Humbrus. You still not going, Alan? Sorry.
Go on.
I didn't say anything. No,
go on, Nick.
Okay, Calvin Hambra said, "Oh God, it's gone off my screen. How do I get that back now? I can't scroll down it." He was on about transfers, right? He thinks that Gardner's having too much influence on the transfers. It should be down to Lee Bowyer who he picks.
Okay. Right, yeah. So his comment was, needs to say,
thanks, buddy.
Have some transfers through. In my opinion, Gardner controls it too much. He was the one that decided against McGree. If there's any friction, it could be interesting.
Yeah. Ryan McGree is playing out of his skin again, isn't he?
Well, just on the Ryan McGree point, I work with a Middlesbrough fan who has not got a positive word to say about Ryan McGree.
Joking. I saw him the other night. I thought he was brilliant.
It was his first game for about 10 games.
Yeah. He didn't have a good start.
He scored a good goal, but hadn't been in the side for weeks.
No, he didn't have a good start, did he?
I think
that's what
Craig Gardner's
happens.
done a wonderful job. I mean, he's shuffled the pack. He's got one out there to get another one in, and
Well, what I was going to say at the beginning was that, that there's an elephant in the room. Shall we talk about it? But actually, there's quite a few. There's quite a few elephants in the room, isn't there? Really?
Yeah, Sharon's at work, Chris. Be in trouble.
And one of them is the Craig Gardner Lee Bowyer partnership.
Yeah, Pete Taylor's just asked, would you rather have McGrew or Chong? I think Chong.
Chong, why?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I'll
definitely.
go Chong.
Quality.
So, forgetting that elephant room, we'll get back to that one. But okay, let's talk about the ownership. What do we think?
What is it to talk about when we don't know who owns what? We don't know. We don't even know who owns.
I know it does seem strange that we talk about a rumor, but they are just rumours, aren't they?
I don't think for 1 minute Mike Ashley would be welcome at St Andrews. I don't. Right? Okay. Now, I spoke to a Newcastle. I spoke to a Newcastle fan the other day. Right? Actually, in Newcastle, good friend of mine. And I said, rumours rife in Birmingham about Mike Ashley buying Blues. He said, good luck with that, with about 30 lapping faces after it.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. But I think there's a lot of fans would welcome him. But the thing is, he laughed. I mean, we didn't laugh, but he shrugged off Sheffield United because of the state, because of the mess they're in. What?
Yeah. What would you make of us?
Come and have a look at our books.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh, we got some breaking news, guys.
Breaking news.
Yeah, Richie Rich says Ed Sheeran wants to buy the club. He's just been seen in the club shop.
Oh, good.
No, in the Roost, sorry. Just seen him in the Roost.
Ka-ching. Yeah. So I just can't see it.
I'm an optimist, and I can't believe there isn't somebody, some group somewhere who's hovering, looking,
most definitely,
and saying, if I can't make that football team, that football club into something.
Are you dropping off, Alan?
Yeah.
The thing is,
I'm going to have to say something, Chris. I'm sorry, I really need to interject here, buddy, and I'm sorry about that.
It's just the city.
Can we get Alan on another connection?
I don't know, Alan. I think you might have to drop out and drop back in again. Switch off and come back in because your connection is dropping.
You go round in circles.
No, you can't hear me. You're dropping off.
If you can hear us, Alan, we can't hear you. So log out and then log back in again, buddy. All right.
Go on, Nick.
Right. Okay.
The internet's unstable.
Yeah. Oh, where's it gone? Where's it gone? I hope it's not gone.
Switch it off at the router, Alan, and switch it back on again. Try that.
David Hussain. Whereas we appreciate your comment, please do not use foul language on our shout box as we have children listening and watching. Okay, and please don't do that, buddy. All right.
Yeah, it's a grown up site. This one is.
Yeah,
apart from me, Nick.
Gary Johnson says, I'd rather have Ashley than the plans we have now. You need to give your head a wobble if you think different. Yeah, but I know the situation's really bad at the minute, but it's like out of the frying pan into the fryer, isn't it?
Look, there's no doubt that Birmingham City will be sold.
At some point.
Yeah, at some point. We will be sold.
But we've got to be sold to somebody who wants to invest in the football club,
Nick,
and the team.
Investment is impossible. This type of business is the strangest business in the world.
I know.
Where you invest money that you're not going to get back.
No,
you're not going to make any money.
I mean, as much as we like the fairy tale of I've seen the usual Trevor Francis, Jasper Carrick all chipped together and all the rest of it. We've had that year after. They're not going to have the.
I'll tell you what. If they pulled the money together, it would be enough to get us through one season. I don't think people understand how much it costs.
I know. It's just it's crazy. And going back to Mike Ashley, it's almost like it's a new week, a new rumour, and it's just there's no concrete evidence, no even pictures of him anywhere near Blues.
Yeah, good point here from Stephen Gill. The only thing with Chinese owners is they like to sell to Chinese people. It's in their culture.
Yeah. It is. It's going to be a consortium. It's going to be a consortium. Who's going to buy us? Somebody with a lot of money that they don't mind getting rid of and losing.
Either that or a rich Arab Sheik or whatever you call them. I don't know. Whatever you call them, I don't know. But
Arab Sheik.
At the moment, the current owners are bankrolling us for £30 million a season at this present moment.
Yeah.
You know, and they are, by putting that money in, they're keeping us going. And this was actually, for me, the really frustrating thing about Saturday was we were one up, we were playing well. We had a chorus of, we hate the board, get the board out. And I'm thinking to myself, hang on a minute, look at the books, look at the figures. I know we haven't spent well in the past, but actually those people that spent the money are no longer at the club. Those are now coming to an end. So actually what we should start seeing is a reversal of the problems that were caused. Yeah. Without them putting that money in, we wouldn't exist. You know, we'd have gone either into admin, or worst case scenario, we could have been wound up and ended up as the next Berry. And we've all said it, we don't want that to happen.
I was talking about Berry tonight, you know, that I've still got an image of that man with his flat cap on crying outside that football ground.
Yeah, well, they're back now, aren't they? They've returned to the ground, so that's good stuff.
They're doing what, sorry? Yes, they are. Yeah,
they're returned, yeah. Is Craig Gardner being played by the board? I'm reading the questions that were asked on our forum earlier. Is Craig Gardner being played by the board? Which is a good question. And I suppose the answer is, I mean, he's being paid by them. He's an employee. So I guess, hopefully, he's doing what they tell him to do.
Oh, right. Okay. Pete Taylor's going to pop a few holes in his lawn, and if he finds oil, he'll sort the blues out. Brilliant. I love Pete Taylor's sense of humour. Can we get him on one night?
Oh, he's crazy. He's crazy. He's a blues fan.
Great
blues fan. What's the crack with Deeney? Are they lining him up to replace Lee? Well, we've addressed this earlier. I can't see that. I do think Deeney's probably got a long-term, future.
Troy, yeah, I think Troy's going to be here for the long run.
I think so. Yeah.
It's got capacity, isn't it?
Yeah. Does it look like Sunji is out? He's on his way out.
Yeah, I must admit, I don't like to dig players out, but he was the weak link on Saturday. I think he was below average. I was with my cousin Stuart, who's over from Australia. So, hello, Stuart. I think he's listening. And Stuart.
Well, hey, Stuart.
Hello, mate.
Great, Cobbler.
He's over from Adelaide for a month. So he came to the game on his first game in 29 years. But we talked about Sunich, and he said he wouldn't look out of place in the A-League in Australia.
Really?
Yeah.
Breaking news, not Blues related, but Twitter's just been sold to Elon Musk for $44 billion.
Good stuff.
I think. I'm sure it's that's what it said. Just a minute.
The only could buy us.
Now I can't find it.
Yeah, could have bought us for that.
Yeah, we need an Elon, don't we?
That's right. Yeah.
And did anybody see the Space Dragon capsule come back down to Earth today? Oh, amazing! Just off the scale, amazing. Off the scale, amazing.
Fantastic.
I know it's not Blues related, Chris, but it was doing 17,500 miles an hour. Right,
really?
And in the 6 minutes that it took it to get through the Earth's atmosphere, that speed reduced to 350 miles an hour.
All right, wake me up when he's finished.
All right, okay.
Okay, so the other elephant in the room was the appalling behaviour of fans. Why are K2 so ineffective against Millwall fans, yet are happy to throw their weight around with Blues fans? Now, that's not my opinion. That's somebody on the forum earlier.
I couldn't agree more. I'll tell you now, I was walking up to the stadium, and I have reported this to the club because I thought it was disgusting. But as you walked past the main entrance going onto the Cobb car park, you have K2 security that are supposed to be manning that gate and watching to make sure that not only the car park is secure, but the fans outside are being looked after. When I walked past, there was a K2 security guard sitting on the floor, sending text messages on his mobile phone. The other one was leaning over him, reading what was being sent. And all this time, whilst that appalling assault of a Millwall fan, which I do not condone, happened. And that's not on. I mean, I had my daughter and my wife with me. I had to move them to the opposite side of the road.
Yeah.
because it was not, you know, to see what had gone on. And after the game, we went and we met up with Lee Malin. We had a drink and a chat. And as we were walking back into Birmingham because of the trains being knackered, we then ended up having to follow there's no other way to discuss it apart from idiots and the way that they behaved walking through Digbeth. I saw the car park with all the railings being pushed down. There were stones, bottles, you name it, being thrown.
And from which set of supporters, Craig?
Both, Nick. Both.
Right. Okay. Yeah. No. Yeah.
And I mean, applause first of all to West Midlands Police, because not a lot of people actually say how well they do. But on Saturday, they were right up against it and they handled it extremely well. They couldn't stop everything. There was no way they were going to stop everything, but they did so well. But to those people that purely went to the game for trouble, hang your heads in shame. Hope you never turn up with the club again, because
your face isn't welcome. Not one of you.
Yeah.
So do you think, in your opinion, there were fans there purely looking for trouble?
Oh yeah. You know the faces. You know, you can tell those people that are there just for, I'm going to go and have a row, or standing outside. They probably weren't even coming in the ground. They've been to the pub, had a skinful, and then decided they wanted to scrap outside. You know, I really do hope the CCTV inside the ground,
which is brilliant,
you know,
definitely.
We lost, I believe 150 seats were ripped up by Millwall fans, from what has been reported. The bridge that they came across, that's actually our safety line to get out the ground should there be an issue. So that has to be there, but they broke through a barrier to get to that. I just don't feel as though we should give these individuals, and that's all they are, individuals, the time or space at the club. Get rid, stay away. We don't want you.
No, totally agree.
Andrew Purcell, K2 are horrendous, absolutely shocking. The club might as well bought knee-high rail and place it round the grass.
Totally agree. Yeah, awful.
Mm-hmm.
I've lost my chat now. We still have no hot water in the toilets.
Really?
Yep.
Well, I last time I was at Blues, right? I haven't been for a long time, Chris. Right? You know what? This is me, and you know, right? You know why I butt in and I talk over people, because I'm just so passionate about the Blues and everything that goes on, and I've lost my passion to go. Huh? How bad is that?
Awful.
How bad is that?
I don't think you're the only one, Nick. I think it's quite a few people.
I know.
I thought it was quite a
half a grand. We can't even fill that.
Okay, so Andrew disagrees with regarding the police. He says the police were shocking in my view. And every footage I've seen, no police were keeping the Millwall fans in the away end. Not a police officer in sight. Only after the Stewarts were struggling did they stumble up the stairs.
I think it's fair to say, from what we've had from West Midlands Police before, that actually they have to be invited into the stadium.
They do.
Those different
yes,
things.
They do.
Oh, right, okay.
100% right, Craig. Yeah.
If they're not in the stadium, and I do agree, you know, it did seem a bit belated with the police running up. You know, from what my comments basically are based on the outside, I thought they did an absolute brilliant job outside, and keeping them at bay. Well, they should never have done what they did in the first place, you know, let alone keeping them at bay. And I will say there was one other thing I noticed from where I was, and that was a Millwall fan who was shoved from behind by his own fans, and he fell headfirst into the cop. And, you know, he, without fail, would have hurt himself. So I hope that Millwall fan is okay. And the one that was injured outside as well, you know, get well soon. It wasn't called for. And
that's from every decent Birmingham City fan up and down the world. Yeah.
It's not really...
Interesting comment here, Craig. I want you to listen to this one good and proper. I'm not going to name the gentleman involved. I've worked for K2, and I can tell you the majority of Wolves, Villa, West Brom, and they don't care about Blues fans. There aren't many Brummies working for them. Do you think that should be the criteria? Do you think you should be a Birmingham fan to work for a security company?
You should be professional. You know,
Yeah.
you do your
You have
job.
a badge,
You know what?
do a
You've
job.
got your SIA license, Alan, and you're dead right. You should be professional at your job, no matter what.
Yeah.
No, I agree.
Yeah.
Totally agree. I don't think minimum wage helps either, does it? Really?
And the other thing is, a lot of them are young. You know, I know that's no excuse as well, but they are very young, these people, and they're inexperienced. Yeah. You could put a vast majority of kids in front of a situation like that, and I'm not being funny, but if I was doing it, would I put my head on the line if people were pushing in front of me? I doubt it very much. But if they can't handle the job, they shouldn't be in it.
No.
Or if they can't do the job.
Yeah.
You know, or go on.
Sorry, Nick. I was going to say it's just an observation from throughout the season, especially the away games we've been to as well. A lot of the stewards everywhere seem to be getting younger.
Yeah.
Much younger.
Again.
Another comment here from Anthony Lloyd. Millwall fans were singing nasty chants about one-eyed Baz. If that's the case, I just hope you don't even draw breath again, ever.
Oh, right. Okay, I didn't hear that, but
I've got to say, outside the ground, there were a group of Millwall fans not singing, but actually singing his praises. You know, I think there's a lot of respect, despite what happened. There's a lot of respect between those two sets of fans.
I respect you saying that, Craig. I respect you saying that. I wasn't there, so I can't comment. Right, I'm just reading a gentleman's comment here. And if that's the case, then yeah, credit to those people.
I did see some stuff on Twitter about. I did see some stuff on Twitter about him from Millwall fans that weren't the best. That obviously those tweets have been deleted now, but yeah, there was some stuff on Twitter.
Oliver, you need to say hello to all your supporters on YouTube, by the way.
Oh, okay.
Your fan club has arrived.
Oh, he's got a fan club.
He's got a fan club. Okay, got some really, really, really big news. Dennis Bohemia has got England.
Hey, the fool.
And Dennis has sent you a message, Ollie. Get your hair cut.
Yeah.
Is that what he said?
Yep.
Yeah, Ollie said if you get your hair cut, you can be best man. That's what I read.
Yeah.
I won't get cut then.
Well, he did ask me. He did ask me if I want to be bridesmaid. The cheeky sod.
We've saved that for Mark. He's going to wear the robe especially for it.
Yeah, a nice red cushion to present the rings.
Yeah, just going back to K2, Steve Portman reiterates regarding the minimum wage. It's what can be attracted by security firms to work at minimum wage. Yeah.
You know what, Chris? I hate those two words with a passion. I hate those two words with a passion. I can't remember which politician bought them. No, minimum wage. Pay people what they're worth. Pay people what the job is for. Pay people who are prepared to stand there and secure you and me at a football game against attack.
Yeah. Who's got the telly on? Can you turn it off?
He was watching Emmerdale.
It's just a couple of messages that have come through. Linda Magna, first of all, according to the FSA, since March, violence across all clubs has increased, which is a scary, scary thought. And Brenda, sorry to hear this, but apparently they even had players telling some of the fans in the Gilmerick to, should we say, go away, but very unpolitely, which is terrible.
Go away, we don't like you, you blighters. Something like that.
No, for God's sake. But you know what? It's entertainment. It's sport. Yeah? Chris, I never stutter. Why do you have to do it? I don't get it. I just don't get it. Right, take the rip, have your banter, take the mickey, right? It's not worth potentially killing somebody for. Come on. Alan Minutes has a different story regarding the trouble before the game by the club shop is going around stating the Millwall supporter was the belligerent one in all of this? Well, Craig, I think you've got something to say to that as well, haven't you?
Yeah. I honestly, I can say the guy that was walking down was made enough. I'm not saying he was the total cause of what happened. And as I said at the beginning, I do not condone what happened to him. However, the one thing I would say is he was made enough. He was turning around. He was facing up to fans. He was, despite the efforts of some fans just to say, clear off, get in the ground, he was having none of it. He wanted to turn around. He wanted to have a row. But then so did the ladies. And, I'm not going to make him exempt from this, but the ladies that were with him did exactly the same. Because as he walked off, they turned around and they came back moving off. So there's a lot to be said around what happened outside the ground. It's not pleasant. Like I said, I wish the guy well, but there was a lot of antagonism, shall we say, taking place before that.
So the story is as I've been told, and correct me if I'm wrong. So the guy was mouthing off with these ladies and so forth, and the younger guy, believing he was going to be attacked by these people, hit the older guy. Is that right? As far as you know,
that's what I've heard.
Okay.
Very much was around what I saw as well.
Yeah.
Right. Right. Okay. David Hussein says you've had hooligans on your show. Yes, we have, David. One of Baz has been on twice, minimum.
Four times.
Yeah, four times. Was it? And I can tell you now, David, the very first time that we had Baz, God rest his soul, on the show, I asked him all of the pertinent questions about hooliganism. Didn't I, Chris? I'm not going to repeat them. But I did. And do you know what? I was shaking. And then he became a lovely bloke who helped out the Birmingham homeless, reformed his life, turned himself round, went around the world using his strength as a kickboxer or something like that. And then did immense amount of work for charity. Now, we were all young once, David, right? We were all young once, and I'm sure, I don't know how old you are, but I'm sure you were young once, right? We all do silly things when we were young. You know what? Credit to anybody. And when he took that young lad on under his wing, you remember that one, Chris?
Yeah.
He took that lad on under his wing and taught him some lessons. And I tell you what, that lad will never, ever forget that. And that's why we've had ex-hooligans on the show.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, totally agree. I ordered those players down the tunnel. They loved winding up the fans and seemed to want there to be trouble, says Steve. Ladies, they ain't ladies, says Michael Woods, and he would know. I watched the Dortmund against Bayern Munich game Saturday. Opposition fans sat with each other in neutral areas of the ground, and the biggest German rivalry. It would be World War III if we did that against them over the other side of the expressway, says Peter Taylor. It would be, yeah.
I'll never happen.
Yeah.
To be honest, going back to the Millwall fixture next season, it'll be interesting if there's any ramifications, like an early kickoff or... Yeah. People did say there's there's always been a rivalry between Birmingham and Millwall, but to be honest, there's Millwall have a rivalry between anybody and anything.
You can look at Leeds, Chris. You can look at Leeds. You know the rivalry there. Them across the road, the rivalry there. The Dingles, the rivalry there. I get it, but do it with your gob, not your fists, or a brick. What a coward's way out to throw a brick at a human being. What a coward. An absolute coward. Lee Mailey, said, sorry I'm late. I heard the bloke with his family abusing the Blues fans from where I was set upon on Saturday.
Yeah. Set. Oh, right. Okay. Yeah. That's what we've heard, Lee. Yeah. I remember winning Baz's book when he was first on. Yeah, I remember that. Yeah. I've got a copy of that as well.
And Brendan says Steve Portman got us out of the ground safe. He is a diamond. He deserves a medal. You know what, Steve Portman? You can have the Tilton Talk Medal of the Year. the Tilton Talk Medal of the Year. If we've got any silversmiths in, ladies and gentlemen, please make him 1 out of 10. No, he is. You know what? Steve Portman is a diamond. You know what? I was stuck in Wigan and he brought me back home, mate. I pray. What a man!
Amazing.
What a man!
Yeah, good bloke. Yeah, good bloke.
Changing the subject slightly, can we go across the Birmingham ladies and the fantastic results on
Absolutely,
Saturday afternoon?
Yeah, that was a bit of a shock, wasn't it?
A 3-1 win against a really decent Brighton side, and 2 goals from the skipper. And may I add, the skipper hasn't stopped scoring since she's been on Tilton Talk.
No, I know,
Yeah.
There's 3 games left, and mathematically, the ladies can still stay up. I've exchanged this with Darren Carter over the past couple of days, and I just want to shout out really that Sunday is the last game at St Andrews for the ladies this season. They could really do with the support. So if you can get yourselves down to St Andrews, it's going to be appreciated by all. And we get that one more set of points over the line. It could come down to that last game of the season, which is at B6, where I've got to say, I'd love to go there and turn them over and stay up in the league. It'd be awesome.
What a game that's going to be.
We do have Man City and Chelsea in between.
That's the problem.
Oh, you have to go and spoil it, don't
Not
you?
90,000, Craig, all standing.
That's just on the pitch, Nick.
A great shout here from Violet Stone. Yeah, listen to this. It's crazy what a world we live in when everybody has a perception of someone, and 99% of the time they've had a corrupt past, whether it's hooliganism, etc. They don't have a chance to explain what made them go down that certain path. I know, Violet, exactly why Baz went down that certain path, because I asked him, and do you know his answer was? Look at me. I'm black, I live in Winston Green, and I've got one eye.
And I'm a bit big.
No, whether you're black or not, you know my opinion on this. That don't matter to me. I've worked for an Indian. I've had black people operate on my body. When I have an heart attack in the street, it might be the only Muslim doctor who's an art doctor who comes and pumps me back to life again. I just simply don't know. But as far as race is concerned, like, just take it out altogether. And don't judge people, because, like, sometimes somebody can sit down and say, you know what, I've been a prat. Oh, and then sorry, Crystal Palace nearly scored there, and then for the work that he's done for our community, the city of Birmingham. And I was in Birmingham on Sunday, right? I nipped in quick and out quick. £9 to park my car, £8 clean air charge.
It's mad, isn't it? Yeah.
17 quid.
That's crazy. You want to get yourself a proper car?
Anyway, Baz did so much good towards the latter years of his life, yeah? And when somebody decides that, you know what, I'm changing this, oh my God, how much credit can you give them? Huh?
Exactly, yeah.
How much credit can you give them to say, you know what, I'm not going down that road anymore, I'm going down this road, and I'm going to do good for people. And they were out there every single Tuesday before COVID, weren't they, Chris? Every Tuesday.
Yeah, went out a couple of times with them, yeah. It was good.
Yeah, yesterday, Twan, I have got the TV, I'm sorry.
Oh, is it you? I feel like I did.
No, it's not. I've got no noise on it. I'm definitely ideally, so.
No, I think it's your headphones are clicking.
Right.
It sounds like it. Pete Taylor says it's a zip, yeah. It gives the Birmingham ladies a fighting chance. A great result, says Peter Taylor. When's the next under-23s game? Is it free for season ticket holders? That's a good shout. I don't really know, to be honest. I don't know.
Pete Taylor says, check the penny farthing instead to avoid the charges. Oh, God. What a bloke.
We all have a past. Mine is terrible. I'm no longer that person, and hopefully I'm a better person now because of my past.
God, yeah. Talk about pasts. I'll write a book one day, but I'll make sure no one can read it till I'm dead.
You know, many years ago, you and I sat and talked about your past, and we were going to do a show about it, not a Tilton Talk Show, but just an extra.
Don't bring it up in there. No, but maybe we'll do it one day. We will do it one day. Yeah,
I hope so. Because you know what. Don't talk about the past. Talk about tomorrow. Tomorrow's you can make tomorrow a better day for somebody else. You cannot change yesterday. You're mad.
Yeah. That'll come.
Just a question. On Saturday, for any of you who went, were the stewards trying to kick you out after the game, or trying to get you out of the stand as quick as possible?
Out of the stand?
Out of the stand.
Yes, they were. Yeah.
Because I was in the box in the main stand, and they were trying to get us all out of the box.
Posh git. I bet you could have the bathtub and we in the sink.
They were trying to get us out of the boxes as quickly as possible, where normally you can stay in it after.
Normally, yeah, till 6 or 7 o'clock.
There was stewards walking up and down like the bit between the pitch and the stands, trying to get people out of the boxes as quick as they possibly can.
Yeah. Where were you situated, Ollie?
Main stand, so the complete other side, pretty much.
Right. Any chance you could do an email to K2 and ask them what went on?
Well, I can say definitely and back up there what Ollie said, because myself, my wife, and my daughter, they went to the ladies before they left the ground. We had a chat with Lee, and they'd locked the gates to the point that we had to go and ask somebody to let us out. And they were literally shepherding people out. They wanted you out the ground. Now, whether that was a security thing because of what had gone on, I don't know. But Ollie, totally agree.
It'd be nice to get their opinion on it. It would also be nice to get the head of K2 security on the show.
Because I just found it weird, because from where I was, it's not like I can, you can go out the window and get to the other side of the pitch. So you would have thought it'd be better to stay in the box, you know what I mean, instead of going out.
Absolutely.
I don't know. It is weird.
Adam's bringing up something we talked about earlier regarding Mike Ashley. He says, are the rumours true about Mike Ashley? Well, you've answered your own question, really. They're just rumours.
It begins with an R.
It's a rumour, yeah. We don't know anything. We don't know.
Alan Minute is asking, can anyone tell me what's happened to Jeff Horsfield? I don't know.
What?
Jeff Horsfield?
Yeah.
What?
I don't know. There's the question. I read it.
No, I don't know.
What has happened to him?
I don't know.
No, I don't think. I think he's okay, as far as I know. I'm pretty sure we'd know about it, wouldn't we? Apparently, the under-23s home game is on Friday, but he's not sure of the prices. Okay. And as Steve,
we'll be free for that.
I should think.
They normally do.
I think so.
Normally, yeah.
And it'll only be £2 or £3 if you want to go in without one.
Yeah. Regarding the club being for sale, Steve puts he's got it on the head, really. Everything is for sale. The club,
of course,
every club, the right price, everything is for sale. Mm-hmm. Always.
Even your bucket under your table.
Yeah, Dave Twine wants to know, have I done my bucket list? Yeah.
Okay, we've got it. Just confirmed that Jeff is okay.
Good.
He's just
no, you've dropped out, mate. You dropped out. Sorry.
Step back at the moment.
You dropped out, Craig. Sorry.
Steve Portman's just saying that Jeff's okay. He's just taking a bit of a step back at the moment.
Oh, okay, that's cool.
Right, okay.
Best wishes to Jeff Horsfield from everybody at the Tilton Talk Show and every Birmingham City fan around the world.
And Ray said, this is a good one, because Ray says, talking of pass, I remember being on the pitch celebrating promotion in front of the main stand. Now I'm in it. Well, actually, Ray, at that game, I was on top of the main stand. There you go.
I was on the pitch, I must admit.
I was on the tin roof.
What's Ray on about anyhow?
Are you a hooligans as well?
I was. Yeah.
Are you the one that put the hole in it against the wall?
Probably. Go on, Craig.
So doesn't Ray own the stand? He doesn't just in it, you know.
He can do what
it's named after him.
He can do what he likes.
The barbecue still out the back of it.
I always look at it this way, says Violet Stone. I always look at it this way. My past isn't great. I have scars to remind me of things I just want to forget, but they are also there to remind me of the person I've become.
Very poignant. And who hasn't? Who hasn't?
Very poignant.
Who hasn't? Who hasn't?
There's rumours going around about Gareth Bale. I can't see that happening either. It says,
He can buy the club.
Gareth Bale.
Well, the club and still have money left in his pocket, couldn't they? Probably.
Yeah.
Which is up for £8.75.
74.
Sorry, £18.75. 1875. There you
go. We sat in the West Paddock and K2 just looked at us whilst talking to each other. It was only when Sam said you need to get them moving that they lowered their arm but still talked to each other.
Please, Craig, I'm begging you, get the head of K2 on the show so we can ask the questions. Tom on.
I'm hoping as well. We have had listeners from the club over the past couple of weeks. So, if they're listening in, they will hear these comments as well and take it forwards. But yes, I will. We'll raise it with the club and see what we can do.
Raise it with K2. They're an independent company.
Yeah. 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 Why don't we have in-house?
We've had West Midlands Police on, Chris, twice. Yeah. And we asked them serious questions about the actions of the Welsh police when they came to St Andrews when we played the Vile, right? And they said they made a mistake. They gave us the answer that we wanted. Yeah. They made that an error, and we would not do it again. Two great guys, right, who were willing to come on and be scrutinised. Now, I think the head of K2 security should come on the show and be asked the questions.
Yeah, I agree.
Why are your security guards sat on the floor on the phone? Why is somebody else reading that message? Right, you stand up, and I've been DJing for God knows how long, right? And I've had security guys around me all my life. You stand up and you do your job. You're getting paid. If you're not happy, we're not getting paid.
Craig, it's fair to say that the West Midlands police have said that Saturdays was some of the worst they've seen.
Really?
Indeed.
Outside,
it's the worst they've seen for years, and they did say from both sides, from both aspects, inside and outside, it's the worst they've seen.
Well, Craig, the only thing I can say, mate, I'm not being horrible here. I'm glad I didn't go.
Can you imagine if you're a security person and you've had no trouble all year, one fixture that you need to pull your socks up and say, today it's Millwall. And Millwall fans can say what they like. There is history, that always a problem, even if it's just getting extra people to look after them. But to be sitting down, playing with your phone when it's Millwall in town, it's inexplicable. How could anybody who worked for that company not be prepared?
Yeah.
Do we? I didn't go either, and my friend, my Cardiff supporter. We had coffee this morning, and he said there was a bit of trouble, and I said, "Well, it was Millwall,
Yeah. We expected it.
We've got away with it for a few years, but it's and the situation in the game that didn't help. Last minute equaliser.
No,
people are a bit all the rest of it.
The writing was on the wall, actually, Alan, wasn't it? When you think about it,
yeah.
At the moment that penalty was given. That should have been the alarm bells ringing in every security guy's head.
Absolutely.
Stand up,
correct.
Get into position, and get yourself sorted.
Yeah.
Dennis says who's upset me.
Go on, Nick.
No, you're right. No,
I was just going to say, Dave Twiner said, "Don't tell him your name, Pike."
Dennis wants to know who's upset me and give me some more Sami peas to shut me up.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, it's no, I'm not going to go there. Right, anyway. Right. I don't know why, but I'm reading like on the left hand side of my iPad, and then all of a sudden it goes to the right hand side, like the left hand side.
Funniest thing on Saturday, chap in the GN stand got a point past the two security by covering it with his. Oh, he got past the security by covering it with his coat. He was gleefully showing everyone the point, then turned round and the steward was standing there. His face was so funny.
I just don't get it. I don't get why you can't have a pint. I'd rather have a cold beer poured out for me if we score than a hot coffee.
Yeah.
Great news coming out of, for a change, the government today with the
I saw that.
Yeah.
review.
Yeah.
We've said it. We've had the trust on the show, but massive could be massive for our club. And with the predicament we're in at the moment and not knowing owners, the sooner this happens, the better. Because we will, if they are still here, get to find out who's in control.
It's actually massive for every club up and down the country. Every club. Yeah.
So, Craig, in sort of bullet points, what does this mean for our club?
From our club's perspective, it's like Nick's just said, actually, it is every club. Everybody will have to follow the same rules, and it will be an independent group monitoring football from its ownership and, should we say, proper fit and proper tests to the background of the individuals that are there and making sure that they're named. Fans will be involved. They will have a spot which could potentially even be within board meetings and the involvements in those areas so that they can have those says. Finance will be monitored more strictly so that, an example is the Premier League going out and spending, 150 million on a player. Well, actually, it won't be 150 million because a percentage of that money will go to other clubs across the leagues because it's got to be fair to spread that out. And I think the key thing in the overall position of it is the golden token, if you want to call it that, of that spot in the league at the moment will be held by that independent party. So if clubs do not meet the requirements, they do not give what's needed, they fail the financial fair play, then they could actually be taken away from the leagues. And it's something we need across the board. The whole pyramid of football needs this. And I know it might not come until 2024, I think is what's being said, but it's just brilliant. It's superb that it's being backed. And a lot of work came from Birmingham fans, and everybody really should be proud of what they input to that and how they helped that report get put together.
That's fantastic. That's something we can be proud of, really. Yeah.
It's a bright light, isn't it?
But we can, but I don't want to put a damper on it, Mark. The deal's not signed yet, is it? The deal's not over the line yet, and that's what we've got to be really mindful of. Anyway, what were you going to say, Mark? Sorry.
No, I was going to say it's just good that it's been mentioned. It's been highlighted. How long have we waited for this? For this moment.
Yeah, Linda says it's having a shadow board. I suppose she means it's like having a shadow, which is great.
Yeah. Where's Auntie Linda tonight?
Yeah, it's quiet, isn't it? Where is she?
It's great. Well, it's probably bingo or something. You know what old people do? They go bingo.
Yeah, she's Gabby.
The cat's just run off.
Yeah. Well, she might have lost her teeth or something like that.
Down the toilet.
She probably ran out of Steradint. Could be.
The interview I heard this morning about this, the guy was explaining what it was. He said the only thing that will slow it down is parliamentary time.
Yep.
And he said, it could happen by the end of July. It's not likely to, but if there's another war, if there's a general election, it all could get stuck on one side. But it's got everybody's support in Parliament, so there's no reason that it shouldn't go through. It's just the time to get it through.
You watch, just to spoil it, there'll be another war.
Yes.
On purpose.
I think the other thing to say is the just going back to that fan-led review as well, the Premier League clubs were dead set against it, as you can imagine, because of the way that the finances are done. But actually, it's been overruled. They can't go back on it. The Premier League clubs will have to stick to the same rules as everybody else. That again is a huge bonus for everybody.
This is another good thing as well. They cannot change colours or badges without fans' consent.
Absolutely. Cardiff, you sold your soul.
Oh, wasn't that incredible? That was, that was incredible. But
can you imagine Blues going from blue to red? Could you imagine?
Yeah.
We'll say though, if anybody's interested in looking at the full details of the fan-led review, then if you go onto the Blues Trust's website, it is one of their headline articles. I'm not going to lie, it's a tough read. It's a lot of pages, but really does highlight how much support given to this can help our club and every club that's out there.
This should be celebrated by every club. A fantastic announcement made, says Andrew Purcell.
And just one small announcement is the fans questionnaire at Blues has now been changed to the 12th of May, so we'll update you later.
What a pillar.
It's only a date.
Forget that, because it hasn't been changed to anything.
Editing. Linda has just confirmed it's www.bluestrust.org if you want to log on and see the details.
Yeah. Paul Hipkiss says, well done, Boris. Now resign. Incredible.
Poor old Boris.
Yeah.
He likes a good party, though, doesn't he?
Oh, he does, yeah.
He does.
He certainly does. K2 implore the kids. They just invoiced BCFC. Things wouldn't be made much different.
Steve Portman has just confirmed it's the 19th of May is the next supporters forum, so that will be an opportunity for K2 details as well to be raised. So it's not the 12th, it's the 19th.
Excellent. Wonderful. And if you've got any questions, send them to me, send them to Craig, send them to Chris. You'll pass them on because it's you that matters, not us.
Health Secretary should resign also, says Adam BCFC. We're getting political now.
Oh, wow.
Right.
There we go.
Okay.
The fans calling for Bowyer to go. Well, some are, but what's going on? Rowett and Monk's got us from the bottom of the championship to 6th place. I think both got the sack, so why do some fans want Bowyer to go when two great managers did fantastic for us and both still got the sack? One of you guys tell me, has these two men, the board broke my heart when the two Garys got the sack? I'd love to know the answer to this question. That's from our lovely Brenda Brown.
Brenda, first and foremost, right, we are led to believe, allegedly, that the two Garys were doing things that shouldn't be doing, yeah? And if you're at work and doing things that you shouldn't be doing, get the sack. Simple as that. Simple as that. That's what we're led to believe. Now, maybe one day we'll get the two Garys on and find out and ask them, well, what went on?
So if you do something you shouldn't do, right, you should be sacked. You can see what I'm getting at, Nick.
It was a date.
Lovely working with you, Nick.
I think to be clear, that the two Garys were working against the better
interest of the club. Yeah,
best interests of the club. That's their mistake. They were, without putting too fine a point, we wouldn't have had a Jude Bellingham if one of them had continued with his antics. Would we?
I mean, you can see why there are. Some people are calling for Bowyer to leave. Because let's face it, the football hasn't been great, has it? So naturally, you're going to get calls for the manager to be sacked. But then you have to look at the resources he's had. That's not been great either. So it's not really. He's done well with the limited resources he's had.
Where do you work, Ollie?
Where do I work?
Yeah.
Don't work. I'm at college.
Okay, you're at college. What does your dad do?
Nothing. He's a complete dosser.
He's at college.
Spends money on extortionately
Yeah. He's in construction.
Manager at construction, yeah.
Right, so he's in construction. So let's assume that you're in construction, right? And I send you on a job without any tools. You cannot do that job. If you don't get the tools to do the job, you're absolutely incapable of doing it. Yeah. And if Gary hasn't had, Lee Bowyer hasn't had the tools to do the job, how can he do it? It's dead simple, right? I insist on the best tools for the job. I insist on it, right? If you want me to do that, supply me with that.
You're going to get some headphones next week.
Ollie, I don't know what this comment is all about, but apparently there's a particular gentleman called Dennis Bahima who said, I can't believe that's my son talking sense. Anything you want to reply with?
Yeah, tell your dad to get his hair cut.
Is he drunk or something? Get Jesper Carrot on. Oh, how Oh, we would love that, wouldn't we?
That would be so great.
Can you
When I
imagine?
get me moped out on the road, I'm going to
Gonna
ride.
Gonna get me moped
Casper
out
Carrot was
on the
actually
road.
at the game a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah.
Seen by quite a few fans. We have tried, ladies and gents. We have tried, and we will continue trying.
Dave, go on.
I'd have had Jasper ahead of Pedersen, to be honest.
Good morning from Dave Twine. Bowyer's been given a glass hammer. Hammer. No. Was that an exclamation mark or an L after that? Hammer.
Next week he's gonna have glasses that are like bottles.
Paul Kiss, look at Luton, Blackburn, Huddersfield, Coventry, all been in worse positions than us. With the managers they have, and now reaping the rewards for sticking with them. It's also the only thing we haven't tried. Paul, that is the most sensible comment of the night so far, in my opinion.
I think
Except Huddersfield changed the manager fortnightly.
Yeah, but there again, they've had no money, and where are they? Still in the playoff position, aren't they?
Yeah.
They've had no money. They've spent nothing, basically.
Yeah. That's the thing, Chris. You don't need a lot of money in the Championship.
No.
You don't need to spend a fortune in this league to do well.
What do you need?
Wow.
A bit of luck, a bit of cleverness.
Look at what Pete Taylor's just written. Bowyer has the tools, but they're cheap Chinese tools regardless. He still uses a spanner and a hammer and a nail sometimes. And Dennis would have me over Pedersen. Crying out loud. You imagine me trying to Chris, I've got a serious question to ask you.
Oh, God, I've got no money.
I know.
How do you tie laces?
No. Such strength in the handbag. Such strength in the handbag.
What is it?
Can't follow the bucket either.
Have you had a bath in Johnson's baby powder, or is your hair going grey?
I've had it tinted. It's been tinted grey.
Tinted.
Apparently, it's fashionable.
It makes you forget.
Your face is an absolute picture of that.
God, you just coughed up a lung, haven't you?
That cost you 40 quid, did it?
Yeah.
I can't see your headphones. Brilliant.
Question to all of you. Do you think if Birmingham City became a mixed team of women and men, our support would increase? Or
No.
would there be... No, I don't think there would.
No. Look, as much as I respect the women's game, I can't see a time where it would be mixed in a professional situation. I can't.
No.
What I would love to see, though, is a Birmingham home game for the men, followed by a Birmingham home game for the women.
Yes.
With those same fans all still being in the stadium. Now that
locked in,
would be
Craig.
brilliant. Locked in. Yeah. We'll just put K2 on the gate. She'll never get out.
Yeah. No, I agree. Mark Yates says he still keeps playing wingers at wing back, and he said we should keep it simple when he arrived. There has been some strange
it's like we say though, Chris. 4-4-2. That's what Birmingham City do. 4-4-2. Huh?
Yeah.
And every time somebody's tried to change it, we've been in trouble.
We didn't play 4-4-2 at the weekend, though, Nick.
Sorry, Craig.
We didn't play 4-4-2 at the weekend.
Sometimes you have a bit of luck, don't you? Andrew Purcell said it would be a great idea, to be fair, a women's game straight after the men's game. You know what? Right, here's one from Ray BCFC Orton. Now, this is controversial, and I don't care. I will ask the question. Should trans people be allowed to play in the women's game? And I know this has been in the news this week. Yeah,
that's a great question. Doesn't it really depend on what they're transing from?
Well, if you're transing from a man to a woman, should you then be allowed to play in a women's football match? Even though you've got the body of a man, the build of a man, the testosterone of a bloke, even though it's probably been just taken away recently.
And you're called Brian.
And I don't quite understand it all. I don't, right? But like, put it out there.
It's a great question. I'd say, to be honest, I would say
11
no.
years, in 11 years, Chris, I don't think we've been asked more of a really deep question than that one.
Yeah, well, I would say if you've got a body of a man, then no.
Right, okay, Alan?
We've had for 50 years now sex tests in the Olympics, which seem to, we've had some dodgy cases over the years, but generally speaking, that's been sufficient for people say, yes, well, this woman is not a woman because X, Y, and Z, and there are criteria that we accept. So if we apply the same thing in life, let alone football, then what's the problem? It's when people start contesting the criteria. We all agree with the criteria. Here's the test. This says you're a bloke. This says you're a woman. End of story. Live your lives.
Okay,
if you
Mark.
don't want to be that, then that's up to you. But you're not going to get past that regulation.
I'd say
Some strange subjects.
I'd lean towards no, but I think I'd like to be open-minded enough to reevaluate it, if that makes sense. I'm saying,
because I'm 60 years old, I'm saying absolutely not. Absolutely not. Right, and the reason for that is you're born what you are. Yeah. If you want to change, that's entirely up to you.
You're still going to have those male physicalities, sure.
Right?
I don't know.
Let's have a look at let's just take I don't know, the 100-meter sprint, right? Okay. The men are faster than the women because they're built that way. Yeah. And if you're built that way and then transition to a woman, I'm not saying I'm right here. I'm not. I promise you. But if that happens, how could you possibly? I don't know. Oh God, this is well. Why did you ask this question?
It's a grey area, isn't it?
Great.
It is. Yeah. What a weird question.
I think things have definitely changed over the years, and when somebody is transitioning, they're transitioning not only mentally but physically. So for me, if somebody is opting to change from a bloke to a woman or vice versa, then actually they're going to be having some sort of certain drug that or increased testosterone. Why shouldn't they join him? And I know what it's a massive discussion point at the moment.
Definitely.
I think I'm the same as Mark. I want to sit on the fence and kind of say,
no, that's great, mate. That's fine.
I
value your opinion. I value your opinion. I honestly value your opinion, Kev, I promise you.
Dennis says, Oliver, what's your opinion? Blame your dad for this.
Nothing like being put on the spot.
Well, Linda Magnet says, I'm fat, but I identify as slim. We are into the last 15 minutes, ladies and gentlemen, girls and boys, and here we go. It's anything to do with the Wild West, Cowboys and Indians, the Wild West, and football. Anything to do with the Wild West and football. Yeah!
That was me doing it.
I'm going to go for the first one because I've been busting thinking about this all night long, right? Here we go. Stan Lasso Reedis.
Oh, very good.
What about Terry Butcher Cassidy?
Butcher Cassidy. Oh my God! I should have.
What happened?
Ole Gunnar Solskjaer.
What about we are the boys from the Stetson?
John Wayne Rooney. We've got John Wayne Rooney.
We are the boys from the Stetson.
Yes, Mark Billy the Kidderminster.
I'm going to wet myself, honestly. I promise you.
What about Spurs?
Oh,
yeah, very, very clever. Yeah, Stephen Gill says there is a transgender team named Truck United, and they play Dulwich Helmet Women's. It should be a transgender league. having difficult saying transgender. Transgender.
To be honest, I
Nick,
think
Paul-
know,
Go on, Oliver.
Paul should be on the show tonight, mate. He's got a cracker here. All right, what about Erling Haaland?
Oh.
We've got the low Nile Rangers coming in. The low Nile Rangers. I do like that one. Well done, Ray.
Come on, Ollie. Come on, Oliver. Give us your opinion before we move on. Go on.
No, I was just going to say, because I think, obviously it is a massive grey area, but I think once you've had your transition, you're still going to have features of whether you're a man or a woman or whatever. But I think there should be a point where you're deemed enough of a man or woman, whatever you transition to be able to play the sport.
Yeah, but by that time you'd be 50.
No, but say someone's transitioned at, I don't know, 20. There should be like a 3 or 4 year period where you can't play the sport because you're still transitioning from whatever you were. But then say if you've gone from a man to a woman and you want to play women's football,
so
after like a 3 or 4 year period once you've
once
you've had your transition, then I think there's no reason why you shouldn't be able to. But I think the first few years after, I think you still got you're still a man in some essences, or still a woman or whatever.
Yeah,
so I think there should be a bit of a period.
I get that. All right, loads more coming in, guys. We got Lee Now Yeehaw, Clinton Eastwood, Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Bride. Michael was brilliant. Lebo Yeehaw. Where do you get them from? How do you do this every week? Custer's Last Main Stand. Oh, Custer's Last Main Stand. Sorry. Yeah, we got it. Calamity James, Lee Campfire, Terry Bow. Battle of the Big Barry, Gary Road. Yeah.
Oh, very clever.
Hot as Sundown. Lee Campfire, John Wayne Rooney. We've had that one before. Trotter Chocolate, Saloon.
Battle of the Big Barry Horn. That's a good. Yeah.
What about Wigwam Athletic?
Wigwam Athletic. What are you doing to me? What are you doing to me, mate? Please don't. Honestly.
I've got Rio Ferdinand.
Oh, yes.
And I've got a few here. Little Barry Bighorn. What else?
Dennis just said regarding Oliver, he says that's the most grown-up thing I've ever heard him say.
Oh.
I
think you're blushing, but I think you're
right.
You might even say I love you when you get home.
Oh no, he won't say that.
Blazing Matt Sadler's. Yeah, got it. Blazing Matt Sadler's.
Yeah.
Dancing with Wolves.
I've got Boots and Saddlers, yeah.
Yeah, I like that one.
Yeah.
Lone Grasgrove Ranger.
This breaks me every week, I promise you. Oh, right. Come on, team. Come on, Tilton Talk team. We've got to think of one each. Come on.
No, I don't do thinking. I don't do thinking.
I've had my clever moment, apparently. I ain't got any more left.
Yeah, I can only think of things to begin to do with Jeff Horsfield, and somebody else has already done that one. So, apparently, Oliver's up for adoption tomorrow. There you go.
All right, okay. How old are you, Ollie?
17.
17.
When are you 18?
Next March, so 11 months.
All right, I'll take your mate. Child support will just keep me going a bit.
I've got underpants older than that. Roger Hindo Silver.
I like that one.
Martin Ranger.
The good, the bad, and the Dudley.
Martin Ranger.
Oh, clever. Brilliant. Paul McCarthy.
I think that one
brilliant.
is good. Yeah, I do like the good, bad.
That is up there.
Max Sadler.
Yeah.
Clever. Very good.
Soldier Blues.
Yeah, Soldier Blues. Have we got any predictions to come?
For Saturday.
For Saturday?
Yeah, Cardiff.
I'm going on Saturday. I'm going to go for a draw, 1-1.
Okay. 1-1.
I'm going 1-0. 1-0. 1-0 to Blues. 1-0 to Blues.
We're all going 1-0. Okay. Alan?
I fancy us to do something on Saturday. I'm buoyed by the performance the weekend, and Cardiff are no great shakes. That they're on the beach, so
that's right. Yeah.
Struggling a bit, aren't they?
They are, yeah. They are struggling.
Lone Rangers.
With Lynn, she said 1-1.
Yeah. Oliver?
2-1 Blues.
2-1 Blues,
think,
okay.
yeah.
I fancy a win as well, so I'll go for
Lindsay Marie's
go
go
for
1-3 Blues. Brenda's 1-1. Dennis Fahimi's 1-1. Jason McDonald 2-1 Blues. Steve Portman's going for a party.
yeah.
Linda Mag go 1-2 Blues.
What's the theme? Being the last away game of the season, there's always a theme for fancy dress.
Yeah,
So
it
what's
hasn't
the theme
been.
this year?
It hasn't even been talked about, has it?
No.
No.
Just dress up as your favourite rumour.
Yeah. 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 Everybody.
Let's start it now. The theme is Tilton Talk Show. So who's going dressed as a bucket?
Yeah, no. I think everybody should go dressed in Sports Direct clubber.
Yeah.
Oh,
there you
that
go.
would be so funny. Just take a Sports Direct bag with you.
Yeah.
Like, hold them up at the beginning when all the teams
Dennis says, can you ban Oliver until he takes that thing off his head?
Yeah, I agree with you, Dennis, mate. I'll be honest with you.
It looks
That's
like
his hair. There's no need to talk about him that way.
What's that cartoon where all the kids used to wear that thing? What's it called? He looks like that cartoon character. I'm trying to think now. Come on.
No idea.
Help me. The Canadian one. The Canadian comic.
Who Killed Kenny? That one.
That's
Never watched it. Never watched it. Never watched it.
Normally.
Any more, ladies and gents? We've got 5 minutes to go. Any more Wild West, cowboy and Indian themes to do with football?
Pete Taylor said, we all dress up in Viz jackets and hard hats and sneak into the lower tiers.
Let's all put... No, hang on. Chris, I've got it. Oh, hang on. Somebody else has just said it here now. Why don't we all go in a robe?
Yeah.
Nothing else.
We all a coach load of us once went all dressed up in our mum's clothes to Norwich. A coach load of us. We all
I don't want to get myself into it.
You had to wear your mum's clothes.
Alan, it wouldn't surprise me if you never come back again, mate. I'll be honest.
and afterwards we went to Great Yarmouth. We did look a sight going.
Right. I'm glad I didn't go on that coach because I was about 3 stone 2 when I was 16, right? And my mum was 17, maybe 18, 20 stone. Right?
Right.
How the hell would I have got into that?
Nick, Lindsay wants to know if she can accept K2 as their Cowboys being part.
Oh,
right. K2, you dropped out
clever.
again. Sorry, kid.
Very clever. K2. Because they're Cowboys.
Because they're Cowboys.
Oh, yeah.
Allegedly says Craig.
All he's got is hat off his head. All he's got is hat off his head. All he's got is hat off his head.
Hop along, Hoppy Hopkins.
Oh, brilliant.
Yeah.
Ryan
Shogun
Shotton.
About the Guns and the Navarone.
Where did you get that from?
Well,
Guns and the Navarone.
Only the fact that it's a war film and not a Western, but it's good.
Oh, yeah. Jason said he did once wear his blues dressing gown down the blues for a bet once.
Ian Clayton says Ryan Shotton.
Oh, yeah, Shotton.
I've just thought of one, actually. It's the old Tilton Talk Show, really. The good, the bad.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the good, the bad, the ugly. The good, the bad, the ugly.
No. Right, there's 6 of us on. It's ugly.
Yeah, but you can see people the wrong way round to me.
I can see people.
I see dead people.
Fistful of...
Michael Wood says that's not a Western, you plank.
Yeah.
Well,
we,
we
just,
don't have road one.
Oh, great.
we just don't have clever people on here anymore, do we?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mark, you seem to have started a trend because I'm seeing that a couple of people have actually been to St Andrews and said they're wearing the robe. So Jason McDonough is one of those people.
I think it'd be a good idea. Yeah.
Nice.
So that's it then. So everybody going to Cardiff will be wearing a robe.
I might have to put Sharon's. I might have to put Sharon's 90 on there because I ain't got one.
I thought you only did that on special occasions. Oh, sorry.
Tuesdays normally, not on a Monday, just on a Tuesday.
I had people wash their robes though.
Yeah, don't know dirty robes. Way out west, Ham.
Oh,
yes.
Somebody's really picked that one off, haven't they? Well done, Ian Clay.
I don't like the way he says this. Who's the ugly? Craig.
Yeah, I know. I think we'll be having words with a certain Mr.
And the thing is, between the who's the ugly, there's no pause.
There's nothing I think he's trying to say might be me. I mean, that's disgusting.
Yeah.
Really. Can we borrow it?
Carl shut the sheriff. Carl shut the sheriff. Listen to that one.
Yeah.
That is
Clever.
It's absolutely superb. Dave Twine, you're the winner.
And incredibly, that's from Dave Twine, who's not. Yeah. He's not very clever.
We've got Chief and Doy. Chief and Doy.
Can I just say? Jason's just sent me a picture of Jason McDonough of him in a robe. It's brilliant.
Has he?
Yes.
I'm kind of concerned, Mark, that you're looking at men in robes.
Yeah, and you're not sharing it.
I'm quite concerned that he's sending you them kind of pictures.
I've actually, he's just sent it me as well.
Oh no,
he has. Yeah, it's quite fetching.
Put it on the Talk page, please. Put it on the Talk page.
It's quite fetching. Apparently, as his voice gets deeper.
Paint you Martin Waghorn.
Brilliant.
That's right. CFC autumn there.
You guys put so much effort into that last 15 minutes. You know what? Yeah. If we can't laugh, what else can we do?
It's time to go.
This has been the Tilton Talk Show, sponsored by Boylesports, and of course their friends at the Garrison Coffee Company and M.A.Reilly French Polishers, and of course Image Cleaning. It's been an absolute pleasure, a blessing to be with you guys tonight. Yeah, from the team, Chairman of the Board, Alan Watton.
Good evening, everybody. Have a nice week and look forward to 3 points on Saturday. 2 points. How old am I?
That's a 4.
You can't get the staff, Chris. He's got one job alone, and you can't get the staff, mate. Brilliant, Alan. Brilliant. Ollie.
Good night, everyone.
Was that it?
Short and simple, mate. That's how I'll keep it.
That's it.
Mark.
That's the way he plays it.
Good night, all. Have a brilliant week, everybody. Take care.
From great friend of the show, and he does so much work behind the scenes, ladies and gentlemen, the one and only Craig Cole.
Oh, cheers, Chris. Here's 3 points on Saturday, and come on, the ladies, on Sunday.
Yeah, absolutely.
Tough game, but we can still fight for this.
Mrs. Brown, thanks ever so much for hosting us again tonight. You're an absolute
No
gem.
problem.
Oh,
Good
you know
night.
what? We couldn't do this without all of us. We couldn't, because it is a team effort, and
Definitely.
it is, mate. And like, this is what they've got to relay onto the pitch of football, right? Goalkeeper can't do it without the defenders. They can't do it without midfield. Can't do it without the forwards, right? That's how this works.
Yeah.
It's been a blessing and a pleasure to be with you tonight, guys. Michael, it's a brilliant show as always. Just keeps me smiling every week. I can't say that word, mate. Good night all from South Africa, from Mike Hill. God bless you, my good friend. Come on, Blues, ladies. Stephen Gill. Jez said, come on, Blues. Come on, Blues! All the cats run away again. Ladies and gents, the Tilton Talk Show, 7:30 till 9 every Monday. We will be taking a summer sabbatical this year because we've done all the years through COVID, and we do need a little bit of a time off and a break. Chris Brown, thank you so much for everything you do. And this has just been the most amazing 11 years of my life, mate. I promise you. And your hair's got a bit greyer since I spoke to you earlier. Keep right on. Good night. Love one another.
When we sing together,
Love one another.
there at the end of the road.
Good night.
We are the lads of the day.